What's up, guys? Merrick Gaming here, back with some more Idle Heroes news for May 12th, 2025, and today we have a brand new preview of Sylvia, the Astral Speeder. Yes, we have our next Transcendence hero. I absolutely love the original design of the Forest hero. I'm really excited to see what this hero can bring to the table, and maybe even just see if somebody builds her new on an account, see what she can do. I'd love to do that. If you guys are going to build this hero on any of your accounts coming up, make sure you guys hit me up. We, of course, do have that heroic summoning event coming next week with this hero in tow, and there's going to be a lot of events along with it. Hopefully you guys enjoy this one. Let's jump right into it. All right, here we have it. Sylvia, the Astral Speedster. As a young racer pursuing extraordinary velocity, Sylvia has only one goal: fast, faster, and fastest. Man, you're not first, you're last. Yet she is also a warrior. To balance these dual attributes, her outfit features lightweight armor paired with a dynamic feathered wing cape. The streamlined curves of the wings do not only reduce air resistance, but also generate propulsion, while the armor itself provides essential protection, enabling her to dominate both combat and high-speed pursuits. For her weapon design, we've retained her signature spear archetype, but reimagined it in an interstellar aesthetic. The spike-like tip embodies raw power, emphasizing that Sylvia is not merely a speed-focused, agile character. Her close combat prowess demands respect. Her helmet, spear, and armor symbolize her combat strength, while her luminous wings represent her unmatched velocity. This fusion of contrasting traits creates a versatile combatant who excels in both offense and defense, embodying the perfect warrior who adapts to any battlefield. So there's a lot of information here, kind of like the same story here as well. You can kind of get a better look at what the entirety of this character is all about. Talking about the spear, I mean, there's just bunnies everywhere though. She's got bunny ears as well, which I guess makes sense considering this is Sylvia after all. You can see the wings back here are pretty cool looking. You got her like shield, I guess that's like a buckler. She's got like this kind of almost like an old school, like the helmets that used to come down and came to a point, like the jousting helmets, kind of like that. And then she does have a really awesome spear. I think I actually, you know what, I might have, let me see if I can pull this one up too. So we have the original design of the hero, right? We have Sylvia, the OG. We got the more advanced version, the super advanced version, still using that buckler, using that weapon, and then we have my rough cut. So I think I did an okay job cutting this out. I don't have the full HD texture just yet, but she went from being a righty with the spear to a lefty. I noticed that immediately. She's now got the spear in the left hand, the buckler in the right hand, whereas before it was the reverse. I'll be honest, I'm a big fan of this character, and her toolkit was so close to being close to what Eloise was from the OG days of having overpowered heroes come out every single month. So yeah, I mean, let's talk about what we think these abilities might be like on this character, because again, I was a big fan reading through Sylvia's kit. I'm really hoping that this version is very strong as well. So jumping into game, again, if you guys have not really taken a look at this new hero, we didn't actually build her on this account. We had her on a couple different ones. Her kit has been very, very good. Even just her base raw stats, block, attack, HP, damage reduction. That's the type of line you want to see. The fact that her basic attack basically has a chance to deal extra damage if you're hitting a certain target. Granted, if this is a kind of mirror of what Eloise kind of was, it's similar in that the basic doesn't do much. The big payoff comes through the active skill, and I think for Sylvia it was just too much behind the active skill, not enough behind blocking and stuff like that. But when self-block successfully gains one layer of momentum accumulation, afterward counterattacks frontline enemies one time. I think that is one of the worst things they've been doing with new heroes. Frontline backline text instead of just being 3 to 4 random targets like someone Eloise has. Because again, you get down to the point where if there's just one target in the front row, this ability just becomes complete garbage. If you already wiped out the front row and there's 4 enemies in the back, it becomes a very strong ability because of the number of targets it faces. I wish they would stop doing this frontline, backline enemy things like it was 2018, because back in 2018, those type of abilities were in the game and were sometimes impactful. And then there were heroes that hit everybody, and you're like, oh yeah, these heroes are just insanely good. But even like Kameth back in the day, like he used to hit front or back line with his basic, and it was just really, really cool. Immediately putting front line enemies in the text of any hero really lowers the value of the hero. But again, it wasn't bad because, you know, you hit them one time, you deal damage, you restore HP equal to a percentage of the damage dealt, which is kind of cool. And of course, in the active that she had, damages all enemies. I like that. Afterward consumes all of those momentum accumulation layers, and for each one of them, you deal extra damage and increases all allies block and attack. So that was kind of cool. That it's just, this wasn't strong enough, because I mean, let's just compare it to like Eloise, which I think is the golden standard for early game of danger. Upon blocking, attack deals 400% attack to 3 random enemies and inflicts scarred soul for 2 rounds. So you're literally dealing additional damage over time. And again, this is the same thing. Restores Eloise HP by 25% of damage dealt. Almost cut and dry, like the same type of effect. However, those scarred souls deal damage equal to 3% of the target's max HP, up to 1500% of Eloise's attack. When you compare it to this one over here, you're dealing 450% attack damage to the target and then restoring HP. There's no lasting ability. There's nothing left on that target to continue to deal damage and continue to heal, because what's great about Eloise is at the end of that round too, she's dealing damage and she's healing again. I think that's the big thing that was missed with this type of target, because again, this ability is very similar here as well. When you want to compare these two heroes, wrong heroes, not the new one, it's the old one, Barry. Deals damage to 3 random enemies, reducing their attack. Like literally, that sounds plain Jane boring, and when you look at this, you would immediately think this is going to be better. But it's doing like half the damage. Granted, it does have that ramp up for all those momentum accumulations that are on the target. You will deal extra damage, but the fact that you're not getting, you know, that dot that is continuously healing, I think is one of the things that made Sylvia not as good. But again, their toolkits were so close. I feel like if they would have just copy and pasted, it would have been weird. But the way that they did go about it ended up not being great at all, because yeah, it was so close to being a cool hero. And let's be honest, I love the bunny design too. It just looks really cool without it being like ridiculously over the top. And now we have this ridiculous over the top, which I actually kind of like here as well. I like the look. I like the art. I love the coloring. It fits Transcendence, and we'll have to see. So let me know what you guys think about this hero. We should get a skill card in the next 1 to 2 days that will be able to get a preview of what this hero's abilities will be like, as well as who their tenants are for them and who they will be tenants for. Really hoping that this is an Eloise Transcendence hero. Like it's the closest thing we've ever had to an Eloise toolkit. If you could paste this on like a Transcendence hero, this could be really, really good for an early game Transcendence hero. And that's one of the things I want to see the most of. Hopefully you guys enjoy this one. Leave a comment down below. I'll see you guys next time.